Here's my current status. Yeet yeet! This time around, I decided the denizens of Viridian Forest shall acknowledge the one true protagonist over the boy Pockets. So I take and run all of their pockets. They have to pay tribute to me after all. I shall use this money for potions. Tactically, I really have improved and even doubled my count of usable Pokemon before Brock. Of course, Salt won't be making a journey into Brock's gym. We have plans for them. The plan is Vine Whip and Theft. Unfortunately, the Pokemon Viridian Forest do not have any money to offer. Only the memories of their final moments as the salt rubs in. This run has progressed to Brock in a much better state. The crew, I call them the crew now, has way more to offer than just a single Pokemon, as if I was playing casually. I come out of the forest with 4 potions and 19 pecks to my level 8 Salt's name. Not a single Vine Whip has been used, and while my Leech Seed number is still incredibly ugly, this goes to show improvement already. And we are going to see much more improvement before this run is done. Now you're probably wondering what I was doing inside that Pokemart. I didn't update the number of potions. The Pikachu you just saw before this beautiful screen popped up paralyzed both Burba and Salt. I was buying Paraheals. Now we all know what happens next. The following part of the video has been deemed too violent to show to non-mature audiences. As this is a non-mature release, we have to abide by the rules. Brock himself gets the camper treatment, but YouTube doesn't care because Brock doesn't scream about it. We can see a single tear shed from his closed eyes as he accepts the fate of his Pokemon. As a joke, he tells Onyx to use Rap, and he moves on regretting not trying to use Rock Tomb. I leave the gym and immediately try to scrounge any resources I can find on the ground. This works out great. I find a single Pokeball. I then run over to Route 3, and living up to my title as the protagonist, I steal this man's shoes. As a part of my hero's journey, I hide from Last Janice. She eats early game runs alive. With her 2 level 9 Pidgeys, she dominates the early game grass type starter. What is the difference between a level 9 and a level 8 Pidgey? Gust. Gust at this point in the game will hit a grass type Pokemon like a nuclear strike. It will also murder another certain flying type with a crit. It is flat out not even worth playing with her. I also dodged the murderer of my last run. I like shorts! Well, you can eat my shorts then, but don't you worry. I'll be returning for you! Sorry you had to see such uncouth sneaking and regret. Let's talk Nidoran female. This is actually the highest tier of Pokemon you can get on this route. Without a shadow of a doubt, there is no better. This is the second best encounter at level 6, instead of itself at level 7. As a Moonstone Pokemon, Nidoran female is a Pokemon you can take into the Elite Four. If you make it past Misty in the rival battle without evolving it, you can trade it at the end of the tunnel. However, if you evolve it, you have to make it past the next town and to the east. I say going to the east like it's a lot, but it really is very little. My girl Nidoqueen is some prime cut, and she really deserves a name that says that. If you've played red, blue, green, yellow, you know exactly what's coming up next. There is a little bit of a trick you can use to raise the level of your Pokemon by force, however. We're going to be abusing the hell out of this trick. You grab a Repel, you grab a Pokemon of about the level that you want to capture, and you repel your way right through that cave. The only thing that can show up is Pokemon of the same level. This has a drawback. It is incredibly expensive for 100 steps, and if you're looking for something with like a 1 to 6% capture rate, like, I don't know, Clefairy, You're going to be spending a lot of money to get it. Whole lot of money. Last video, I mentioned different rules to the run. This is that different rule I was talking about. I decided to use each Pokemon Center once. Like as if I was dodging bills, you know, stuff like that. That was the rule that got changed to 0. You're not really going to see it another time this run. I think I use one more before I switch all the way to 0 at the start of the next run. And so you see with this little fight why I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to like enter new town and then decide, let's go grind all my Pokemon. Let's go use every PP I can. I just didn't want to spend the time doing that is the main thing. I wanted to route in such a way that all my Pokemon that were going to be usable was going to be routed into the trainers I fought. Sacrifices when they were going to be made were going to be made tactically, planned out from the beginning. I don't succeed in in this run, but this is the point where I really start working towards that goal. After 16 minutes, 16 actual real-world minutes of avoiding this frickin' cave, I finally decide to go in it. I enact the plan with Spearow, and I just go for it. Now, Spearow was specifically trained to level 12 just for this purpose. So, of course, I forget to use the repel. I get a Zubat. Oh boy, a Zubat! This thing's going to be so useful. Actually, level 10 Zubat is incredible. If it doesn't have Supersonic already, it's about to, and Supersonic is amazing. Confusion is a second status type move that works with Sleep Powder, Stun Spore, Poison Powder. Just like the part of the meal you tolerate, Corn here joins the crew. What are you still doing here? Actually, I'm you, so you can't kick me out. Get out, nerd. That knowledge doesn't even come into play for like 5 episodes. We then go on to collect one of the great treasures of Mount Moon, Bullet Seed. With 30 attacks and a gambling addiction, you too can blast your way past Misty. Not to summarize 50 minutes in about 30 seconds, but...
I have an important announcement. Mount Moon is filled with Zubats. These guys are everywhere. There is 0 chance of taking 10 steps without being gnawed at by one of these things. So at this point, I've already spoiled this dream doesn't work out either. I can go through, explain exactly what happened, and we can be here for an eternity using all my best jokes I have planned for this cave. Or... Secret option M. We have a montage of anything I think has in there. Try to keep up.
Where's the montage? What do you mean we don't have the budget for that? How will they know about the awesome battle with the dragon? We don't have the skills needed to model and animate that? The whole budget went into this voice changer? Aren't those free online? Fine. I'm keeping the last battle in the cave in, though. Speaking of which, Grimer isn't that big of a deal. The main problem I have here is I switched Caterpie out of my team, and Caterpie is the secret key to this fight. Without her here, it goes something like this. Unless the Pokemon is immune to poison, Grimer will always poison it with moves like Poison Gas. While it only has 55% accuracy, Grimer always has 3 or 4 opportunities to hit it. We don't see it until we let Salt have a shot at the pile of gunk. Voltorb is a new type for us. electric type. And birds like Salt and Chicken get electrocuted right out of the sky. You can really tell when I'm having trouble with a fight because you see those two lines in the top right, and I start checking my party for answers, like as if I am lowering my expectations of what is in the fridge till I finally decide to make something to eat. A delay that only causes me pain. That is because I'm weighing the lives of my team versus important PP usage. Coughing is basically a repeat of Grimer, but a little more likely to hit poison moves and a little less tanky. I have more to say about this fight, but this particular run isn't the place for it. We exit the cave, making our way to the end of the video.